Lore Together is proud to be part of the Boss Rush Games Network. Feel free to find out more at bossrushgames.com/network. Hi, I'm Sapphy.
And I'm Mystic.
And this is Lore Together. This is the podcast where a husband and wife team go over the storytelling, world building, and characters of video games. Because it's what we like to do together. We lore together.
Yep, and this is episode 123.
Thanks for joining us for the 123rd time. We always appreciate you guys listening, even when I am in pain. I'm going to just up front and be honest about it. I have a sinus infection because my allergies have kicked my butt. So if I sound a little different, that's why. I'm carrying so much fluid in this head right now. It's just not right.
But before we get into the episode, if you'd like to contact us, you can do that in many different ways. Instagram, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Reddit, YouTube, Steam, and Discord down in the description below. Or you can contact us via email at loretogether@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the podcast, and we hope that you do, you can do that in two different ways. First is 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever it is, wherever you're listening, a good review would go a long way. We appreciate getting all of those. The other way is through Patreon at patreon.com/loretogether, where you can pay a per episode pledge to get early access to episodes, access to our mini episodes, of which one is upcoming, access to our audiobooks, of which 2 are going to be starting up in the next month or so, as well as exclusive access to a couple Let's Plays, including Firmament, Jade Empire, and Cyberpunk, and also exclusive access to voting in some of our choices for our public Let's Plays, like Mass Effect 2 currently, as well as voting for what the next Let's Play will be.
Yeah, lots of voting. That seems to be the biggest perk right now, especially since in Mass Effect 2, there are so many choices that you'll be able to choose ahead of time.
Yeah.
Even if we have to allude to it in a non-spoilerly kind of way. Did you get that? Did you guys get that? We're going to try to avoid spoilers in half of the votes.
Also, even when we do have last-minute votes in our chat during our live streams, patrons get double vote. So
it just seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that your username matches up. And then
or let us know what it is.
Or let us know what it is. And be consistent. Don't change it every week or something so your friends are all sharing. Well, no, actually do that. Why do I care? Anyway. So with that, you can already tell I'm a little delirious with pain.
Oh, this is going to be a bad game for this.
No, I think it could be great. So I also, if anybody hears me slurping tea in the background, the warmth of tea helps keep everything moving in a copacetic manner. But in the meantime, while I wait for my tea to cool, Mystic, what are we talking about today? One
of your favorite genres. This is a 3D platforming adventure game. The look I'm getting is
I'm already in pain.
Yes, I am in pain. Why are you putting me through more pain?
This is kind of like when you're pregnant and it already hurts, and then somebody's like, "You're not doing anything. You want to take out the trash?" or something like that, and you look at them being like, "If this was normal pain, maybe, but this is sciatic nerve pain, so no." Get out of here.
So this particular 3D platform adventure game was published in 1999 and has been part of a series we've covered, as well as a continuing series since then.
Oh, okay. So part of a series we covered and a continuing series.
I'll give you one more hint. It was not 3D when we covered it last time.
Oh. Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yep.
Yes. You know, when you first described it, I was like, no. Crash Bandicoot's older than that, right? So
a game series I've never actually gotten into. So
yeah, I just remember his big old goofy face, but we're talking about a different
big old goofy face.
Yeah.
Especially in this game. Oh boy, the character models are something else. They are.
Oh, is this the infamous character model stuff or no?
I don't know what you mean by that specifically. It's not terrible for the time. It's just not great.
I mean, the time when the plot called for Sonic to have a love interest that was not a hedgehog.
We will not be covering that game for 2 reasons. First off, I'm not sure if it's canon anymore. It may be, but I don't know. But secondly,
Interesting.
we have no way of playing it. It never came out on PC.
Oh, okay.
So we may cover it at some point, like we covered Halo Wars in our last episode. But we'll have to put another game or something in there as well.
And if you would like to give us money so that we could stream stuff that's done on PC, patreon.com/loretogether.
Yes.
That's how you do a plug, ladies and gentlemen. All right, moving on.
So this was developed by Sonic Team, which is, all right, fair. And published by Sega, also fair.
Sega!
For the Dreamcast in 1989 as a launch title, and it was eventually released on the GameCube and PC, and I think it's moved on to other systems since then.
Justice for the Dreamcast, by the way. So it's like, I feel like it's fan beloved, and it gets some respect, but not enough.
I believe this is the 25th anniversary of the Dreamcast this year.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
it came out in 99,
That makes sense to me.
and so it would have been September 9th, 1989. So, anyway, to touch back on some common lore, though not always accurate lore, because it does kind of wibble wobble a little bit at times. The Chaos Emeralds are featured in most of the older games we covered.
Yes.
They hold awesome powers and are a potent power source.
And are constantly being collected for magical things.
Yeah, it's like the Dragon Balls.
I was literally going to say that.
Sorry to step on your joke.
How dare you actually read my mind, husband? The one time I don't want you to.
For why and how the Chaos Emeralds exist, we'll have to wait for another episode and a very far along game in the franchise timeline. Our story this time actually begins 3,000 years ago from the present day of the game.
Okay.
The Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emeralds are both kept secure at the Altar of the Emerald near the territory of the Knuckles clan of Echidnas.
That's right, echidnas. This is... Okay. Okay. Yes, I do remember hearing that was what Knuckles was. Yeah.
So Knuckles is a descendant of
The echidnas.
this clan specifically. Like all the males have the spikes on their fists and stuff. Yeah.
Can we, just for those who might not know what an echidna is, because it is kind of a rare little creature.
Yeah, echidnas are basically spiny anteaters that live in Australia and New Guinea, and they don't look anything like Knuckles does.
No.
Just like Sonic doesn't look like a hedgehog. So
Echidnas, they're not on the same level of platypus where they do things that don't really fit in normal.
they lay eggs.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
they do not fit in any normal categorization of animals.
Yeah.
So,
And the Knuckles clan is very... I can't put it to a specific area, but it's very Mesoamerican in terms of
Oh.
its style, architecture, dress, makeup, stuff like that.
interesting. Okay.
A peaceful echidna named Tikal, son of Chief... I forgot this name was in here and it throws me. Pachacamac.
Wait. Pacham.
Pachacamac?
You probably have it. I don't know what they were trying to do there. I don't know if they're
Pachacamac.
referencing.
I'm going to go with Pachacamac.
I don't know
It
if
also
they're
sounds fun to say. Pachacamac.
da, 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 da.
The daughter of Chief Pachacamac.
Da, 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 da.
Don't do that every time.
Sorry.
Tikal befriends the little creatures that live near the altar of the emerald. These creatures were small, peaceful, emotional, naive. Basically, they behave like human infants.
Okay.
They're easily scared, easily joyous, just the essence of childlike innocence. These beings are called Chow.
That's so appropriate.
And Tikal was friends with them, and the Master Emerald did an effect on one of the Chow, morphing it into the being Chaos.
Oh. Okay.
Chaos is not bad.
It just is.
It's a evolved Chow. So
Okay.
when Pachacamac sought to expand his clan's territory, he attempted to steal the Chaos Emeralds to use their power against their clan's rivals.
Was he trying to expand his clan's titles because it wasn't Pachaka much?
I don't know. Also, bad No. Despite
Sorry. The name lends itself to so much lunacy.
Despite Tikal and Chaos's resistance, Pachacamac ordered his soldiers to attack, leading to the injury of many Chow. And again,
Oh, no.
childlike innocence, you know.
Oh, that's not a good combination.
This enraged Chaos, who transformed into perfect Chaos, we'll get there, and destroyed all of the echidnas except for Tikal, who sealed herself and Chaos within the Master Emerald.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The resulting magic transformed the shrine's surroundings into Angel Island and caused it to float into the sky. In the present day, Dr. Eggman, sometimes called Dr. Robotnik, but in one of the more recent games, it was revealed that he kind of just owns the Dr. Eggman insult and just makes it his own.
Oh, okay. So he goes by both, you know.
He's Dr. Robotnik, but in one of the more recent games, he has a log that you can find where he's like, he thought it was an insult. I claimed it as my own and made it, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I like a little extra deeper background for our cartoony villains.
Yeah.
We should talk about sometime how they did that with King DDD for Kirby recently.
Yeah.
That was a change. You were like, whoa.
Yeah.
So the deepness of Robotnik does not surprise me so much. That's the trend things are doing.
But Dr. Eggman discovers the Knuckles' clan's ancient shrine while constructing his final egg base in the jungle of the Mystic Ruins. There he deciphers stone tablets that tell the legend of Chaos, then called the God of Destruction, because he killed them all.
So Robotnik is trying to build something here?
Robotnik is always trying to build a awesome city or whatever to be a mecca unto the world for all to visit and also to take over the world and stuff like that.
Sounds like a capitalism problem, but I'll get off that soapbox early on, guys. We're not going to do that.
I think it is. There is almost never any mention of money as far as I'm aware in most of this. There is definitely government problems, secret government things as we get through the series, because Adventure is kind of the start of the modern era, which has its ups and far downs in terms of quality and in terms of coherence.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Adventure 2, we are starting to get into secret government projects and secret weapons and stuff like that. So there's definitely that side of stuff.
Wow, the Cabal theme is strong. Okay.
Yeah. So the Doctor, seeking to exploit the beast's power for his own gain, plans to subdue and use him to destroy Station Square, paving the way to build his own city, Eggman Land, on its ruins. He also creates the Egg Carrier, a versatile aerial fortress, and the E-100 series, an army of elite robotic badniks to aid in realizing his goal. Badniks are, again, piloted by animals. That does change here and there in the
right,
franchise,
because originally you're saving your animal friends by destroying the robots they're trapped in.
That does go away in one game, but it's generally there at this point still. Mm-hmm. This game is split into 6 different stories.
Oh, no.
And they weave into each other at times. And
wait.
Events change based on who you're playing as. So,
is this secretly the original Octopath Traveler? Is this what's happening
right now?
Not
quite, because Octopath Traveler is 8 stories that you just happen to all be on. They don't intersect. Like, if you're playing as I can't remember any of the characters' name, but if you're playing as the dancer, your story only involves her story. She does not have anything to say in anyone else's story.
That's the interesting thing about it. It's just kind of like, would you like 8 stories that could all happen at around the same time? Yeah, we could do that.
But yeah, so this is split into 6 different stories, and they bump into each other, and characters will talk and meet and everything. Mm-hmm. And before we're going to get into the stories, we're going to also describe the 3 hub locations. We've mentioned them all, but let's actually describe them because it's good to know this information. Station Square is a huge city with towering skyscrapers, coastal beaches, trains, casinos, and hotels.
Okay.
This is a 1999 game, so it's not massive.
Right.
There's literally 1, 2, 3 streets and a couple small areas beyond. So not a lot. The Mystic Ruins are a bunch of ruins in a lush jungle, which is weirdly connected to Station Square by train.
What?
Yeah. There's a train station here that connects to Station Square, but it's a remote jungle.
Like, What was there a project to like build a factory there, and it just kind of
There-
petered out?
No, but there are people exploring. There are archaeologists and stuff.
Okay.
So there's a presence there, but it's
Not enough to build a train, though. If we're just talking about researchers and stuff.
right. I don't know why it's there. I don't get that part. There's a giant maze-like jungle here, as well as waterfalls and stuff and rocky cliffs.
You got to have all that if we're gonna have Sonic running around. Like those are all necessary.
These are
set
just
pieces.
hubs. These aren't the levels.
Oh.
Yeah, these just are the hub worlds. You can run around and interact with characters, do minor puzzles, and I use puzzles very loosely there. It's basically find thing, hit switch.
Find thing, hit switch. That's
Yeah.
so it's a fetch quest with a button.
Kind of. Our last hub is the egg carrier itself. After a certain point in the game, Dr. Eggman's base is accessible from Mystic Ruins, and it's, as you would expect, a giant technological airship.
Right.
Each hub also has its own Chow Garden that is themed after its hub location. And basically there's a whole part of this game where you can raise Chow, and because they still exist. They didn't all die.
Right. Only some of them died. Yeah. And then Chaos was like, vengeance!
Yeah. So the Chow still exist. You can raise them, and you can bring them animals and stuff to change their properties and all this stuff. And the second game actually has a better Chow Garden thing, in my opinion. I got way too into Chow Gardening at one point.
This feels like raising slime in Stardew Valley.
It's Tamagotchi.
Oh, yeah.
It's essentially a virtual pet.
Okay.
And you can fight them, and they can go to school, and yeah, there's
So
you can have Chow races.
Tamagotchi Pokemon hybrid thing. Okay.
There's also this glowing orange ball that talks to us. It's there. Yeah, so there's this small little Navi-esque orange ball that's sitting at certain areas. If you touch it, it'll give you information and stuff, because this is a where the heck do I go type of game. And so it's there to give us hints. It's also part of the plot. It'll fly around a character to trigger flashbacks and info dumps. We'll get to what that is later.
It's the project manager on this adventure is what that sounds like to me.
Yeah. So we're going to go through each character's story in order. There will be some repetition here because that is just how this game does.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll begin with Sonic because everyone... So here's the thing. You have to start as Sonic, and then once you meet a character in a storyline, it unlocks their story.
Oh, okay, cool. That actually reminds me of Dark Cloud, a JRPG that had a random dungeon creator. It was a PlayStation game. I have to see if it's on emulate. You know what? That's one of the ones I have to put on my list to cover because I played the original Dark Cloud and really liked it. And then there was a Dark Cloud 2, which I didn't touch, which I should have. It was really interesting for its time and surprisingly super fun. But one of the things that happened was you started with your standard issue boy hero, and as time went on, you had different characters that you end up playing with different kinds of attacks and special abilities that you could change into in certain points. There's a little cat girl who could do leaps. There was a big tough guy with a hammer. There was a dancing woman. There was a couple other things that were happening there. It had some interesting stuff going on. So the idea of switching into different characters and doing their story feels pretty similar to that.
Yeah. Here it's just everyone's locked off in the main menu until you meet them, and then it's like when you go back to the main menu, now you can play as Tails. Like
that feels like a fighting game more than now that you say it like that.
That's interesting. So Sonic is the longest story.
Of course.
Sonic has the most levels. Sonic, yeah.
It's his game. That is his game. It has his name on it. Yeah.
So we begin at night as Sonic the Hedgehog as he returns from some training, supposedly.
Okay.
He races through Station Square, literally jumping off of buildings and stuff.
Parkour!
That is the name of the game. Only to then notice a bunch of
No, the name of the game is Mirror's Edge. Sorry.
Which we did cover.
We did, yeah.
Only to then notice a bunch of police cars driving in some crazy mayhem way. Like, when you watch this cutscene, it is like they are cutting each other off and sliding around, and it doesn't make sense.
007 in my Sonic?
It's not even that good.
Oh, jeez, that's bad.
It is so... So, the graphics in this are definitely early era 3D. Like, this is Dreamcast. This is before the game came out. Before the PS2 came out. This is N64 times 2.
Oh,
this
man.
is maybe times 3. It's honestly, it's not bad, but everything is still early days 3D. You know, there was a cutscene later where Sonic is holding an emerald. He's moving, the emerald isn't, because the emerald probably isn't part of his model. It's probably just loaded in and placed there. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah. So, early days, things are a little rough. Go with it. Following the police, he discovers them surrounding Chaos, who jumps down into the midst of them, whose liquid body renders their weapons ineffective as the bullets just fall. In fact,
So when we say liquid body, just so I'm imagining this correctly, even though I'm going to see it soon anyway, is it liquid like water? Is it liquid like slime? Like
it's very blue. It's very watery.
It's watery.
Yeah, it's water.
It's not like viscous. It's very much thin liquid sort of situation.
Well, he's solid enough. Like he can hit and stuff, but it's like he stretches, he turns into big balls, he has bubbles.
So he's kind of like Mr. What, the Fantastic Four dad?
Mr. Fantastic?
Yes.
No. I don't know. I don't know my comic books.
Stretching. It's a stretchy dude. He's a stretchy man.
But he's liquid. In fact, the bullets all hit him. They just fall out because they're hitting water.
Oh, okay.
And the voice acting in this game is something else sometimes. And there's some good voice actors in this game. It's not the era for it yet.
I feel like also there's just certain games that lend themselves to camp.
This is a campy game.
It just reminds me of somebody showed a video of like, look at who we get for Dynasty Warriors, and then look at how crazy they just go crazy with it.
The cops here literally show up. You have yourself surrounded, and then they start shooting. And then the next line is, "Oh no, our weapons are useless. Retreat!" Like,
no, yeah, that's campy. That's so campy. I love it. Okay.
So Chaos at this point looks vaguely humanoid with large hands and an alienish head, but is, stretchy and glowy and blue and translucent like water. So
I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-dee.
The police retreat, but Sonic then defeats Chaos, which is the first thing you'll be doing in gameplay. Boss fight.
I have a boss fight, the first thing in a 3D.
It's fine.
He says this now, guys, and then he's gonna 20 minutes in, gonna be like, I'm gonna have to be like, Mystic, you need to take this over. I can't do this anymore.
The creature escapes through a sewer grate. Fair enough.
Should have seen that coming, yeah.
Meanwhile, Eggman is watching from afar, confident in Chaos's supremacy, calling Chaos the god of destruction because he has bad info. Honestly, Chaos is very much has the ability to destroy this whole area,
right?
If he gets enough power. So
is
it's
he
not unfounded.
Suddenly you're describing it, and I'm thinking of Boo from Dragon Ball.
No. I'll show you the opening cutscene since we won't be able to stream that one. Mm-hmm. But I'll show you the opening cutscene afterwards, and you can see what Chaos looks like there.
Okay.
The next day, Sonic is relaxing poolside and also by the beach. Like the pool
Wait, he just witnessed all this crazy stuff and it was like, I need a vacation.
I mean, this is the Sonic series. This type of stuff happening is literally commonplace at this point.
Gosh, man, to be so jaded with all of that chaos.
But the next day, Sonic is relaxing poolside and beachside because the pool is on the beach. It's weird.
Believe me, there's a lot of resorts built on that concept.
I believe it. When he hears something flying off in the distance and sees Tails crazily flying over the beach with his plane smoking, and then Tails dives towards the beach and you hear a crash. So hearing the crash, Sonic rushes off to the beach, traversing the level, including getting chased by a killer whale in a very famous sequence that they tried to redo in that 2006 Sonic.
Oh, really?
It doesn't quite feel as good.
Oh, no.
Because they're just doing a reference at that point.
Hey, guys, we did the thing.
Yeah.
Aren't you happy we did the thing? Be happy now. We did the thing. Say you're happy now. Yeah.
And finds Tails near the crashed plane, but otherwise all right. The two of them head off to Tails' lab in the Mystic Ruins. Tails explains that he was testing a Chaos Emerald as his plane's power source.
A chaos... So, but guys, even if you don't know physics, the idea of chaos, right? Uncontrollable, unsustainable, fluctuating kind of energy sort of thing. You think that's a good thing to put in your plane engine?
So I think of it actually, this is going to be a weird reference for anyone who knows this. Maybe not. I think of it more like Stargate Atlantis, where they have the 0 Point module, which is a crystalline energy source that basically powers the whole city.
I know I haven't watched Stargate Atlantis, so I don't know what you mean by. Also, when something's crystallized, it's pretty solid and therefore probably less chaotic.
I mean, this isn't any crazier than crystallized time, which was in Star Trek.
It still is in Star Trek. It is very much verified canon.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. So.
That's okay. So we're just dealing with something that's not trying to be super logical.
It is not.
There, it's just there for
Oh
plot.
no, this is not a super logical game.
I'm still gonna try to make logic out of it, even though that's not supposed to happen because that's just how my brain feels right now.
Well, Tails is a bit of a tinkerer. We knew this already because in the previous games he was flying his plane in 2 of the games at least.
Right.
So, however, when they get near the workshop, Eggman ambushes them. Sonic kicks his butt, but then Eggman manages to steal the emerald with a really weirdly moving grapple claw. It seems to bend in ways that don't make sense.
Suddenly it's a MC Escher design.
Yeah, and then he's sitting there like the emerald is floating and he's stroking it from the top. It's the weirdest scene.
You're making it sound like I need to call the police on Eggman on this crystal.
It's such a weird...
Other than the theft part, but yeah.
It's such a weird visual look. I don't understand it. The Doctor reveals his plan, because of course he does, to use Chaos to help destroy Station Square, to whom he tosses the Chaos Emerald, transforming Chaos into Chaos 1. So Chaos 0, Chaos 1.
Okay.
Which basically makes him bigger, but also adds some bones to his right arm.
Okay, now we're sounding like Cell from Dragon Ball.
Eggman and Chaos leave, and Sonic and Tails resolve to secure the remaining emeralds to prevent Eggman's plan. This will not, of course, go 100%.
Never.
They soon... What is with Sega and crystals, I just realized? We had 8 crystal... It's 8 crystals, right? In Skies of Arcadia. I can't remember off the top of my head because it's been forever since we covered that game.
I think it's 6 moons, 6 crystals.
6 crystals.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I think, yeah. Anyway, crystals in
they have
Sega
a thing
games.
for crystals. Well, they're shiny.
All right. So they soon recover 2 emeralds, one in Windy Valley, which includes a giant tornado Sonic has to jump up through, and another in Casinopolis, where we can, if we're lucky, fly through a scene from Nights into Dreams in the pinball area.
So we fly through volcanoes. I mean, not volcanoes, tornadoes, right?
So it's not as hard as that makes it sound. It's kind of just a cool set piece where you jump from. It's like it auto jumps you from platform to platform.
It just feels so. It is super. It's definitely camp. Like it's just. Pure adventure camp right there. I'm gonna go through the center of the.
But Eggman ambushes them and steals yet another emerald from them. So then they have to go and keep finding emeralds, hoping that they can just secure them. They find another emerald at Ice Cap, which is a level that includes snowboarding away from an avalanche.
Oh, okay.
As well as jumping across icicles. It's a platformer in the 90s. But then they run into Knuckles, who has yet again been gullible and believes that Sonic has stolen some of the Master Emerald shards. We'll get to that in a little bit. During the fight, Sonic drops his Chaos Emeralds, allowing Eggman to swoop in and take all of those, transforming Chaos into Chaos 4.
Oh my gosh, how many Chaoses have we had now?
In the Sonic story, just Chaos 0, 1, and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I was like, did I miss something? We went from we're not numbering them sequentially?
No. Because Chaos 2 is in a different story. And I don't know where Chaos 3 comes up. Off the top of my head. I think it's in here.
Maybe still in the back burner. Kind of like, we're going to leave that for another game 20 years from now.
Oh, no, these are all... Okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
In this form, Chaos looks like an aquatic creature similar to a shark with arm-like fins, a dorsal fin, and a blunt horn. He also has...
Deepest, bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin. Mystic's kind of like, what did you do? And I'm like, that I have to reference Deep Blue Sea when possible with that one.
He also has bones in his tail section and arms. This is a fight on a pond with lily pads. It is a fight I hate.
Wait, we did tornadoes to casinos to lily pads?
Yeah.
The whiplash of tone that's happening right now is insane.
Once Chaos is defeated, Eggman retreats in his egg carrier. Sonic and Tails pursue him in the tornado in a bit of a on-rails flying / turret section.
Okay.
Only for the plane to be shot down at the end. Sonic finds himself alone in Station Square in the aftermath. There he runs into Amy just walking down the street, who asks him to protect Birdie, a bird she is looking after. Sonic declines because he has more important stuff to do right now.
And also, I don't trust a grown person who names their bird Birdie.
I don't know how old. I don't even think these characters are older than 16 yet.
But still, like, at 16, I was naming my bird something cool.
So Amy just says, we're just going to tag along with you anyway.
Her and Birdie?
Yeah. Later in Station Square, you have to like find the spot where the cutscene triggers, which is the most annoying thing in this game.
I hate that stuff entirely. And you're just like, what? Where is that pixel? My toe is right there. Why are you not doing it?
Except it's in a 3D space now. So it's like, oh, you have to go to this one part of the sidewalk over here or this part over here in a different part of the city.
That's so frustrating.
So later in Station Square, one of Eggman's robots is on their tail. Sonic is just about to proceed to kick its butt when Amy says they have to go into the nearby amusement park, Twinkle Park, because, quote, cute couples get in free. So she literally says, that's the robot. Sonic's like, I'm going to kick his butt. And she's like, oh, let's go in here. And just runs in.
This is giving me Manic Pixie Dream Hedgehog. Like, what is going on?
So Amy runs in, and Sonic is forced into probably one of the strangest amusement parks ever. It's not an amusement park. It is a Sonic level. It is weirdly gamey even for this game. There's no way that a normal person who doesn't jump like Sonic the Hedgehog does is getting through this level.
Okay, this feels weird, and also feels like that during development, there was some discongruent development happening where they were like, I have an idea for this thing. If we had a game like this, I have an idea for this thing. But the crazy pathways we're taking in this game with the flimsiest of excuses for why we do it.
Within this amusement park, we will have something like bowling, something like a roller coaster, and also go-karts and racing. And we'll even visit this as another character to do fishing. Like, it makes no sense.
Unless you're Disney World, you can't be everything to everyone. That's just insane.
And the entrance to this giant amusement park is one small elevator.
What kind of... Are we sure we didn't go into like a Planet Coaster spinoff? Like, what is happening here?
So eventually we find that Amy... So after we beat that, we look for somewhere else. Eventually we find that Amy has been kidnapped by E100. This is the robot that Sonic was going to dismantle earlier.
But then she suddenly had to do the bumper cars. Like,
yeah.
What is this?
Sonic says he'll cut off the robot in the Mystic Ruins because that's the only way the train goes.
It's the only way the train goes?
As far as I'm aware, he literally sees her being carried down the train tracks and goes, I'll cut him off in the Mystic Ruins.
This world is so absurd. This is a fever dream, sir. Oh my gosh. You know when we did our 100th episode and Aramithius read that section of like the most mad lad ranting of Fable.
Of Vivek, yeah.
Yes. It was... That feels to have more substantive roots in reality than what you're telling me right now in this moment. And
just you wait.
I am in pain, and you're doing this to me. It's just making it worse. Oh gosh, Mystic. Why? Why are we?
So, despite the fact that Sonic can literally run fast as all heck, E100 gets to the Mystic Ruins before him, and Amy is taken onto the egg carrier. Sonic reunites with Tails in the Tornado 2 in a different level, and the duo boards Eggman's battleship after another turret section. Well, boards is underselling it.
Uh-oh.
Since Tails kind of built it in a hurry, and the mode that they're in to fight the carrier in the turret section doesn't have landing gear, so lightly crash would probably be a better way of putting it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Falling with style.
It does manage to take off again easily, so it's not like destroyed, but yeah. Still, they are none the worse for wear, and they begin to explore, navigating the ship as it changes shape as Eggman works to stymie their progress. Basically, it's like, change, things rearrange. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Eventually, they find Amy, who has befriended E-102 Gamma, one of Dr. Eggman's robots. Sonic spares Gamma after Amy pleads for Gamma's life. The egg carrier then begins to malfunction, and Sonic has Tails escort Amy to safety while he confronts Eggman. Sonic soon finds Eggman, who is given 2 more Chaos Emeralds to Chaos, transforming him into Chaos 6. In this form, Chaos resembles a scorpion, spider, frog-like creature with 6 legs, a long tail, multiple eyes, and a toothed mouth.
So we've lost the water link.
Still watery, still blue, still translucent.
But, like, scorpions are a desert creature, so it's kind of a weird mix then. Or at least, yeah, scorpions are typically a desert creature, so I'm okay. Okay, continue, Misty.
Sonic defeats him with the help of Big the Cat, who is a giant purple cat. A rotund purple cat.
Big the Cat sounds like a rap name from like the 1980s. I'm Big the Cat.
And Big the Cat is searching for his friend Froggy inside of Chaos. Big the Cat...
The frog is in Chaos?
Yes. So...
The frog's in Chaos. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's...
So,
like, not only literally, but possibly spiritually as well at this point.
So, Big the Cat literally has a voice... Froggy... Like, he's... Yeah. It's the craziest thing. Guess who Big the Cat's voice actor is for this game?
Oh,
when he sounds, Froggy, where's my friend Froggy? Like, you will never guess who this guy is.
I want to say it's the same guy who does Super Mario's voice for all those years.
No, it is not Charles Martinet. It is John St. John. The guy who voices the Postal Dude in Postal and Duke Nukem.
What? The range of voice actors is a magical thing. You sometimes you're like, okay, yeah, that sounds like you, and then suddenly you hear something, you're like, there's no way that's you. It's insane.
So Sonic attempts to catch Eggman, but misses and plummets back to the Mystic Ruins, where he is lured to the shrine of the Knuckles clan by the floating orb. There he finds a mural worth perfect chaos and is transported back in time. He witnesses the destruction of the altar of the Emerald and the sealing of chaos we talked about before.
Okay, so that's how we now know what happened with the Chow that one became chaos and all of that.
Yeah, all that is kind of me prefacing what is filled in as we go.
Okay.
Back in the present, Sonic chases Eggman to the final egg, defeats him in a final showdown. End of Sonic's story.
I guess your egg is cracked, sir.
Oh, God.
Yeah! I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
You really could have.
No.
So now on to Tails' story. So while Sonic is away on his journey, training, whatever he was doing.
To make an omelet.
Miles, Tails Prower, that's his name.
There is somebody out there in the real world who has that name, unironically. I guarantee you.
It's a joke. We probably covered this in 84. You may not remember, but it's Miles Prower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Has basically been hard at work in his workshop in the Mystic Ruins. He tests a prototype Chaos Emerald powered by a plane above Station Square. Initially, the plane performs well, but soon the Emerald's power overwhelms it, causing it to malfunction. After a precarious flight through the city and out over the water, the plane crashes in an island in the nearby Emerald Sea. Fortunately, as we know, Sonic witnesses the crash, comes to help.
Okay.
Skipping the stuff we already have heard, Tails takes Sonic back to his workshop, Eggman attacks and steals the Emerald, Chaos 1, etc. Tails and Sonic set off to find the remaining emeralds and thwart the Doctor's plans. The duo recover the 2 emeralds in Windy Valley and in Casinopolis like before. This time, however, the gameplay is a little different. We're not just traversing the levels, we have to beat Sonic to the goal.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and Tails is slower than Sonic, but he can fly for a short period of time, which does open up some shortcuts because somehow having multiple tails lets him fly? I don't know.
To be honest, it's one of the least absurd things that we've been mentioning with all the scene changes and all of that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with it.
Again, Eggman ambushes them with sleeping gas, I didn't mention that before, sorry, and steals one of the emeralds. The next day, they head to Ice Cap and find another emerald, but then encounter Knuckles soon after in the Mystic Ruins. Due to a misunderstanding, this time it's Knuckles and Tails who fight, which allows Eggman to snatch the emerald, transform Chaos into Chaos 4. Tails then defeats Chaos 4, and we know Eggman escapes to the egg carrier.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so who wins in a fight changes based on who you're playing as. Which, if you think about this as an actual continuous story, just breaks that entirely.
Yeah, unless you're talking about like alternate universe theory, where depending on who you choose, it changes what version of the universe you're in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not Dragon Ball Abridged kind of took Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I should say, took care of that plot loophole in the best logical way to be like, so wait, you came back in time to fix something, but then what timeline are you going to go back to? And just Trunks in the background. Ah! That's pretty much all you need to know about that, kids.
So again, Tails and Sonic give chase and their plane is shut down. Tails, unlike Sonic, crash lands in the Mystic Ruins because there's only 3 places people can end up.
That's fair.
There, he reflects on his first meeting with Sonic in a really weird cutscene, and decides to continue without Sonic and search for another Chaos Emerald in the jungle area of Mystic Ruins. So at this point, Tails has kind of been a follower hanger-on who does some stuff on his own, but generally cedes to Sonic to be the hero. He's the sidekick.
Yeah, Sonic is the leader.
Yeah. And this is the first time that he's kind of, maybe I can try this.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
He eventually does find an emerald, only for it to be swallowed by a frog named Froggy.
Oh, great.
After chasing Froggy through Sand Hill, which is a sandboarding level, I don't know what it's called. He's riding the dunes with ruins moving around and giant stone snakes jumping from the sand. Honestly, it's a cool level, but I don't know what it's called. After riding the dunes, Tails catches Froggy and gets the emerald. I was going to say,
for part of me wants to call it Arrakis, but that's just too deep of a cut right there.
Tails catches Froggy and gets the emerald somehow. Keep in mind that Froggy ate it. Only to be transported...
Did you Heimlich maneuver just on the frog?
Oh, no. Somehow only to be transported back in time to an era long past to get an upgraded attack. Somehow he gets a badge that makes him able to attack more.
Huh.
And also to meet Tikal. After returning to the present, Tails is holding Froggy with a giant rotund purple cat running toward both of them. The cat belly flops on the ground. Froggy runs off, and the cat chases after him. Uh-oh. Tails finds this all weird, but has more important things to do right now.
Okay. Which is, okay, so in other stories, we're probably going to see like the beginnings and the endings of that.
Yeah.
And hence explain why there's a frog in Chaos.
Yes.
Okay.
Using the Chaos Emerald, Tails finishes the Tornado 2, which maybe go with a different name, but...
Tornado. Yeah, that sounds like something that somebody like... Some kid drew it on a piece of paper. Yeah. I call it Tornado 2. It's got extra tornado.
He reunites with Sonic at the Red Mountain, which is a very... So there's a lot of weird positioning in cutscenes. This plane comes in at nearly perpendicular to the ground, starts pivoting around. Sonic jumps onto it and is literally standing on top of the plane, and the plane is still almost perpendicular with the ground. It doesn't make sense. I think it's just early days of it's flying good enough.
Yeah, it's flying and it's 3D. People are going to be so impressed with the fact that it actually went around something. It's not just a 2D painting. Woo!
So to that end,
yeah,
when you're a Sonic running through the beach in the first level, there is this one part where they swing the camera away from you being able to see where you're going.
Oh, no.
So dolphins can jump out of the water and there can be a lens flare. Now, in the late 90s, lens flares were new tech.
Nobody was used to the lens flare. Nobody was used to that. Nobody had done like Star Trek 2009 and had J.J. Abrams put a flashlight in everybody's face in a theater.
So this game is not above look ooh. So it just doesn't always seem to work. So they get on the ship. proceed to the egg carrier after they're firing and lasers and stuff. And after their lightly crash landing, they navigate through the battleship, eventually finding Eggman confronting Amy and Birdie. Eggman grabs Birdie, who has been carrying a Chaos Emerald in its necklace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in this necklace that is far too big for its body. The Chaos Emerald is the size of the bird. This thing is not flying. It should not be able to fly.
Well, how is its neck still up? How is it still alive? I have so many questions, Mystic.
Eggman removes the emerald and then summons E102 Gamma to deal with the heroes. Amy convinces Tails to spare Gamma because, of course, Tails is the one fighting Gamma now, not Sonic, trusting him as her friend. With the egg carrier losing altitude, Sonic has Tails take Amy to safety while he goes after Eggman.
Wait, I still don't understand, though. If that bird could carry that necklace, how is it not the one beating Eggman at this point? It is obviously this pound for pound the strongest person in the room.
As the egg carrier crashes into the ocean, Tails and Amy return to Station Square. Tails spots a devastated Eggman trying to launch a missile to destroy the city.
It's always a missile. It's always a missile.
The missile turns out to be a dud, so Eggman goes to detonate it manually, which sounds short-sighted.
Yes, that's
Tails races against him, so instead of racing Sonic, we're racing Eggman, which is, all right, cool.
Okay, that's kind of a fair fight there, too. Yeah.
And then Tails deactivates it. The Doctor, furious, deploys his Egg Walker and threatens Tails. The Frogs, basically, it's a mech type thing. Tails confronts and defeats Eggman. The citizens cheer for Tails as the villain retreats. And on his way back to the Mystic Ruins, Tails meets Sonic, having conquered his fears and proved himself a true hero in his own right. Everyone has a little journey.
Oh, that's just so sweet. Everyone has a journey.
Now we get to Knuckles. Oh, no. Sorry. I don't know what is with the voice direction on Knuckles. It is... The guy is reading his script off a cereal box. I don't know. There is no emotive anything.
Oh. So I guess they were like, we need you to be cold and neutral. And then the actor did the acting thing and they said, all that acting you did? Not that. We said cold and neutral.
So on a stormy night, Dr. Eggman's egg carrier nears Angel Island where Knuckles, the echidna, is meditating or sleeping. It's kind of hard to tell. Some people said meditating. I think it looks like he's dozing.
Okay.
The island shakes and there is a cracking shatter behind him. He turns to see a glowy orange helper orb and Chaos standing in front of the broken Master Emerald. Knuckles tries to fight him but is overpowered and knocked down a ridiculously long flight of stairs and barely reacts to that obvious back injury, only to rush back up the stairs.
That's one tough echidna.
Yes. Only for Chaos to puddle away, as he is wont to do.
Puddle away?
Yes.
I just imagine a puddle that's going around like an inchworm, like...
Without the Master Emerald to hold it up, though, Angel Island crashes into the ocean, causing a giant tidal wave that we will never hear of again.
Wait. Where's the tidal wave?
So Angel Island is when we are running around the game, it's actually a bridge that'll lead you to Angel Island from the Mystic Ruins. So it's right in that area. So I imagine that it's just going out to ocean and not towards Station Square is why I imagine we don't hear of it. I was
confused. I was like, so are we in the water?
No.
Okay.
Knuckles sets out to recover the Master Emerald's scattered shards because when this thing broke, they just flew all over the place and ended up in some strange places.
This is the same thing that happens when you put a fork in the microwave. Like, this is just...
Knuckles, don't microwave the Master Emerald.
We can't tell little buddy this or else he will try to make his own Chaos Emerald. I guarantee it.
I just want some chili dogs. Okay, so that's a weird deep cut. I don't know if it's Knuckles... if it's a Knuckles thing, but in the Sonic comic and in some of the cartoons, he has a huge love of chili dogs.
Specifically Knuckles?
No, Sonic.
Sonic has one of chili dogs. Okay.
In Station Square, somehow, like we literally cut from Angel Island falling with Knuckles on it to Station Square midday. Oh,
hey, remember all that exciting tension you had? Just forget all about it. All of it? Just not a thing anymore. Don't worry about it.
In Station Square, Knuckles finds 6 shards of the Master Emerald within the levels here. I forget what one is Snopolis. I forget the other one is. And this is his gameplay loop.
Oh,
In
okay.
every level, he has to find shards of the emerald using hints from monitors, a thing that I didn't even connect with for a long time, that they were giving me hints. I thought it was just random text. It never occurred to me. These are hints for where the emerald shards are.
So you said random monitors, like
There's like floating monitors that will give you like this store is open or the hours for store or whatever. And in this case, they'll give you like under the ground or whatever, like, or with more detail, just spitballing. The other thing you have at your disposal is a hot cold meter.
okay,
There's a beeping that will beep more when you get close,
okay,
as well as a emerald in the screen that'll change colors.
mm-hmm.
These things can be out in the open, buried in the ground, or in walls. Remember that Knuckles can climb with his knuckles.
There you go.
In containers,
Okay.
or even within enemies.
What?
Yeah, they can be inside of an enemy. That's the weird thing. It's Master Emerald goes boom, and like this shard, which is the size of Knuckles, embeds itself in an enemy.
That that feels like something from Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I just realized Sonic Adventure is taking longer than full RPGs we've covered recently.
Well, because they decided they were telling 6 stories in one game. Do you understand how hard that is?
Even when they interact, you still have to cover the fact that they interact.
Look, right now people are giving Dragon Age Valguard creators crap because they're only carrying over, at least allegedly, only carrying over 3 choices from the previous games. Do you know how many stories you could have had? How many variations in your game you could have had?
With 3 choices?
Yeah. Well, not only with 3 choices, but before that, you know how much work they'd have to do to make every little thing matter? Guys, people need sleep. Crunch time is bad. Let them go back home and get some sleep. Jeez.
So after he finds all the ones in the non-Twinkle Park Station Square levels.
The non-Twinkle part?
He doesn't have a Twinkle Park level.
Okay.
So he is transported back in time where he overhears Takala trying to stop her father from invading the foreign lands. Returning to the present, he finds Eggman walking through the hotel with something shiny in his hand and assumes it's a piece of the Master Emerald, but is in fact a Chaos Emerald, which when this is revealed, Knuckles doesn't comment on it at all. Just, that's not what I'm looking for.
What?
Yeah. Eggman also gives Chaos 1 the Emerald, upgrading him to Chaos 2. In this form, Chaos becomes larger and more muscular with a hunched posture and big bones in his large arms and vertical hammerhead fins. Knuckles wins this fight. It is... I said before the pond fight was my least favorite. This might be my least favorite because the vulnerability window on Chaos is not easy to get.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. Once again, Eggman bests Knuckles' thick-headedness by simply telling him Sonic is after the shards as well.
Oh, wow. That was easy.
Knuckles goes in search of more shards and eventually stumbles across Tails and Sonic in the Mystic Ruins, and Sonic just happens to be holding the green Chaos Emerald, which looks like the shards of the Master Emerald.
Uh-oh.
So Knuckles fights Sonic, which allows the Doctor to steal the Chaos Emerald. Chaos 4, Knuckles fights, blah, blah, blah. We know where this goes.
Okay.
They all split up. Tails and Sonic to go after the egg carrot. Knuckles goes to find more shards because he only has one job in this whole thing, and that's to get the Master Emerald back together.
I'm just here to collect shards and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
But he's not the one voiced by John St. John.
Fair. That's right. Sorry.
Continuing his quest, Knuckles finds 3 more shards in the Mystic Ruins, but is sent back to the past a second time. He witnesses Takal's futile attempt to persuade Chaos and the Chow to leave the altar of the Emerald before her father's attack. Once again, returning to the present, the still incomplete Master Emerald indicates that the final few shards are on board the egg carrier, which Knuckles infiltrates after following E-102 Gamma into the final egg. After securing the last shards, he is transferred back to the past yet again, where the altar of Emerald is in ruins.
This is becoming Groundhog Day, but it's Echidna Day.
Yeah. Which makes sense. It's his ancestors. He is closely tied to this time period just by the fact that he's their descendant.
Yeah, so, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Eventually, Knuckles returns to the present and battles Chaos 6, which we described before. Mm-hmm. After a long fight, the creature retreats, and Knuckles takes the Chaos Emeralds with him. He returns to Angel Island and restores the Master Emerald, lifting the island back into the sky.
Woo! All right. And the balance was restored, whatever balance looks like in this mad world.
So that's the whole thing is Knuckles is trying to find out why he is the guardian of the Master Emerald, basically by going back in the past and seeing all of the stuff with his clan. It's like, okay, I get why I'm doing this.
This is my purpose now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy.
So this is story 4. I'm fading so quick. My brain is leaking out of my ears, Mystic. Oh no. We're going to try.
We are more than halfway through.
I'm trying.
And these are going to be the shorter stories.
Guys,
going
this
forward.
is you're so lucky that I love podcasting because this is so painful right now. I just want to bash my face into the wall in hopes that somehow if I shake up my brain enough, this will make sense.
Living in Station Square, Amy Rose is growing bored with her mundane life where I don't even know what she does. Her routine is disrupted.
Does she even know what she does?
I don't know. Her routine is disrupted when the egg carrier appears over the city.
What routine? Does she even know what she does?
As she watches, a small bird falls from the vessel. Amy notices E100 chasing it. She grabs the bird and ducks into the burger shop, hiding from the robot. She vows to protect the bird, whom she names Birdie.
Because bird is the word.
Yes. As we know, she later finds Sonic and asks him to look after Birdie, and he refuses. Amy runs into Twinkle Park, where Zero catches up. Her whole gameplay loop is traversing the levels and keeping away from Zero.
That's all she does? Her whole thing is just run away.
Well, she also has a giant hammer.
Oh, nice, actually. Okay.
Yeah. And she can, I think as she's running, she can hit the hammer and she'll flip over and like get some airtime and stuff too.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm here.
Unfortunately, she and Birdie are caught and imprisoned on board the egg carrier, as we know. In the egg carrier's prison cell, E102 Gamma demands Amy hand over Birdie, but she refuses. Literally, he's like, "Give me the bird." No, give me the bird.
She just suddenly holds up her middle finger.
She appeals to Gamma, who, moved by Birdie's presence, helps them escape. The robot warns Amy that they are approaching the Mystic Ruins. Amy becomes friends with Gamma before leaving. Amy and Birdie the bird. He's not called that. I just wanted to throw that in there because everyone's named the animal. Like Knuckles the echidna, Sonic the hedgehog.
Yeah.
So Birdie the bird.
Birdie the bird. Oh, jeez.
There probably is a bird that I don't know about. Actually, there is a bird. She's purple, I think. She was in like one of the racing games.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
They escape prison hall by winning a hedgehog hammer game. It's literally whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. Oh my gosh. I mean, I used to try to master that in at Chuck E. Cheese, and it just never was never in the cards for me.
Eventually, Amy is transported to the past, because everyone has to be transported to the past, where she sees Tikal first meeting the Chow at the altar of the Emerald. Returning to the present, she and Birdie are cornered by Eggman, who takes a Chaos Emerald from the bird's pendant. Sonic and Tails arrive. As we know, Amy has them spare Gamma, blah, 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 back and forth. Sonic goes to confront Eggman. Tails takes Amy and Birdie to Station Square as the egg carrier crashes into the ocean. Back in Station Square, Amy reflects on her dependence on Sonic and decides to help Birdie find his siblings, which is the first we've heard of this.
Wait, Birdie has siblings?
Yes. In fact, I think it was one of the manuals or one release of the game, they said parents, but it's a mistranslation. It's siblings. So Birdie has siblings.
Interesting.
They scour the final egg but have no success in finding his family. The duo returns to the abandoned egg carrier, which is now floating in the sea. There, Birdie reunites with his siblings but is attacked by Zero.
Oh, man.
Infuriated, Amy destroys the robot and the birds manage to reunite and fly away. So, determined to still gain Sonic's respect because Amy only has eyes for one other being in the universe, and that's Sonic, Amy sets off with her newfound resolve. It's such a joke that in the cartoon, the Sonic Boom cartoon, she has like a stuffed Sonic doll, and everyone gives her weird eyes. She goes, "You guys knew this was happening." Like, that show is very self-referential, from what I understand.
Oh, that's good. Okay, because I just
Gamma. Now, Gamma is the most interesting to me.
Oh, okay. First of all, you mentioned a character who we hadn't even really talked about at all in the other Gamma. Wait, I'm trying to
E102 Gamma.
Oh, okay, the robot.
Yes. So Gamma is the most interesting to me. Coming online at the final egg, E102 Gamma, the second robot in the E100 series, is met by his creator, Dr. Eggman, who orders the robot to obey him and test its abilities in the shooting range. Gamma later proves himself by defeating his big brother, E-101 Beta, despite Eggman's initial doubts in him. Impressed, the Doctor allows Gamma to join his colorful robot crew on the egg carrier. They're all like different primary colors. Eggman then tasks Gamma and his brothers, E-103 Delta, E-104 Epsilon, and E-105 Zeta, to capture a frog named Froggy, who possesses a unique tail. Gamma tracks Froggy to Emerald Coast on the beach. Gamma's whole gameplay loop is shooting things, some of which grant him time because the timer is tight.
Oh, is what?
The timer is tight.
Oh, okay.
Like, you have to keep gaining time to get through the level, usually.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
He finds Froggy snatching from his owner a big purple cat named Big the Cat.
There it is. Okay.
However, the robot is suddenly transported to the past by Tikal, where he... So, full disclosure, the small orange ball is Tikal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, comes up and says, hey, P.S., you need to see
Yeah.
this. Woo!
Where he learns about Chaos and the Chow and the Altar of the Emerald. Returning to the egg carrier, Gamma presents Froggy to Eggman along with the rest of his siblings. However, only Gamma has found the real Froggy, earning praise, while the other E-100 robots are discarded in pretty horrifying beams of light that stretch them out and they, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this scene actually comes back. Like, Gamma continually sees this scene in his mind as he's going through his story.
Oh, man.
Next, Eggman sends Gamma to the prison hall to retrieve Birdie, who is imprisoned with Amy. On his way, Gamma accidentally witnesses Beta undergoing a terrifying remodulation.
Oh, no.
Another scene that will come back to him. In the prison hall, Amy refuses to hand over Birdie, blah, blah, blah. We know that part. And
There's
we know
the
about
word, man.
Yeah, and we know the whole thing of, you know, he goes to fight Sonic and Tails.
Yes.
Amy intervenes, urges Gamma to leave Eggman. All this stuff happens. As the egg carrier crashes, Gamma's previous experiences lead him to view his creator as an enemy.
Yeah, that's fair. I would too if I had Eggman as my creator.
He then embarks on a quest to rescue his fellow E-100 robots by destroying them.
What?
And liberating the animals inside. Basically, he's made a connection to Birdie.
Yeah.
And realizes, oh, those are also inside me and inside my brothers, and they should be free.
Okay.
So he tracks and destroys Delta at Windy Valley, Epsilon at the Red Mountain, and Zeta at the abandoned egg carrier.
That's a lot of bouncing around to realize I need to murder my siblings. What the heck?
Eventually, Gamma confronts E-101 Mark II.
Oh.
And defeating his brother, but sustaining fatal damage in the process. As Gamma collapses and explodes, a cream-colored bird is freed from Beta and joins the pink bird released from Gamma. The two birds, who are Birdie's siblings, fly off together.
Aw, how metaphorically beautiful.
And now we get to Big the Cat.
Big the Cat is this our last dude?
Almost.
Oh, Mystic, I'm in so much pain.
We're almost done.
So much pain.
We're almost done. So on a peaceful night at the Mystic Ruins jungle, Big the Cat is sleeping in his hut with his pet and best friend, Froggy.
Oh, Froggy's his buddy.
Yeah. And this point is a normal frog. Suddenly, a light in the sky falls nearby, causing a small tremor. Froggy goes out to investigate and literally swallows puddle form chaos.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you have something that's so easily defeated by a straw, how powerful could it really be?
When the cat wakes up, he is surprised to see that Froggy has grown a tail like Chaos's tail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, frogs shouldn't have tails. They got rid of those long ago.
The frog then eats Biggs' Chaos Emerald and runs away. Concerned and confused, Biggs sets out to find his friend.
Okay.
Biggs' whole gameplay loop is fishing.
That's it?
You fish. He also has a slight attack, I think, but you fish. You are fishing for Froggy. This is the low point in the game for me in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
It is the longest part of the game because you are fishing. So, yeah, that's Biggs' gameplay loop is fishing.
That is, I mean, that's a lot of times fishing is like an optional side thing you can do in a game.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
Biggs' chase leads him to Station Square, where he catches Froggy in Twinkle Park, but the frog escapes. His search continues in the Mystic Ruins, where he finds Froggy in Ice Cap, only for him to escape again.
Oh, no.
Big eventually sees Tails with Froggy in the Mystic Ruins and Station in this where he ran up to him.
Right.
But the fox lets go of the frog, who escapes yet again. Big then tracks Froggy to Emerald Coast, where E-102 Gamma snatches the amphibian and flees.
Right. Bad. Ugh. Okay.
He rescues his friend, but they are suddenly transported to the past by Tikal, where Big learns about all the stuff that we talked about.
Yes.
Returning to the present, the duo attempts to escape the egg carrier. They encounter Chaos 4 and Dr. Eggman, who explains that Froggy is possessed by Chaos's tail. The creature transforms into Chaos 6 using the Chaos Emeralds, and Froggy jumps into Chaos, losing his tail in the process.
Oh, okay.
Sonic arrives and helps Big defeat Chaos, freeing Froggy in the process. Big thanks the Hedgehog and uses the Tornado 2 to leave the falling airship. Big and Froggy safely return home and celebrate the reunion by dancing and fishing together.
Oh, that's super sweet. And also,
Big is the low point.
did we need to tell this many stories?
No.
No, we absolutely did not.
So that's all 6, but there's one more.
No! I didn't ask for this, Mystic.
Once you complete all the previous storylines, which is why you have to play as Big, you get the Supersonic storyline.
The Supersonic storyline.
Yes. So this begins with the damaged Tornado 2 next to Big's house, still holding the Chaos Emerald. Soon after, Angel Island falls back into the ocean again, even though the Master Emerald is still intact. Dr. Eggman appears, moving through the Mystic Ruins jungle, spots Chaos, who has survived the crash of the egg carrier.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Knuckles is at the altar of the Emerald, puzzled by the island's fall, despite, again, the Emerald being intact. He deduces that the 6 Chaos Emeralds he brought have something to do with it and plans to seek Sonic's advice for the first time ever.
Oh, wow. It's a little bit of sense in him, yeah.
Knuckles then finds an unconscious Eggman on the island who mumbles about Chaos but can't elaborate. As Knuckles approaches, Chaos is also nearby. At the Mystic Ruin station area, Sonic is relaxing when Tails informs him that Angel Island has fallen again. They rush to the altar of the Emerald and find Knuckles and Eggman both unconscious.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now we're in trouble.
Yeah. Chaos, having betrayed the Doctor, has stolen the 6 Chaos Emeralds and attacked both of them. Mm-hmm. Furious, Eggman sets off to get revenge, while Knuckles warns Sonic that Chaos is a formidable foe who must not obtain the final emerald.
Oh, no.
Sonic is then transported to the past by Tikal yet again, where he witnesses the altar of the Emerald being raided by Pachacamac.
Oh my gosh, the name returned!
Leading to Chaos turning into perfect chaos and rampaging in fury. Tikal uses her prayer to the Master Emerald to stop Chaos. Mm-hmm. Back in the present, Sonic and Tails head to the Tornado 2 to find the last Chaos Emerald. However, Chaos, in the form of a water pillar, takes the emerald and leaves.
As a water pillar? Just
yeah, like
shoots up and says, I'm out?
Station Square then suffers a devastating flood caused by Perfect Chaos, who destroys the city.
Oh, jeez.
Eggman approaches in the Egg Carrier 2, but is easily destroyed by Perfect Chaos, leaving him defeated.
I mean, the chaos is just so perfect. How did he expect?
Tikal appears, I think in full form now, if I remember correctly, and explains that she sealed Chaos in the Master Emerald, but he is filled with rage and anguish. Which is fair.
Oh, yeah, I would too, yeah.
Sonic disagrees with resealing Chaos, saying that it will not change Chaos's emotional state. It's just kicking the can down the road for when ever someone unleashes him again.
And especially if he's not going to be able to power helicopters like Tails originally imagined. Like, this is not useful to us.
Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Big, and the pink bird from Gamma gather the unpowered Chaos Emeralds and give them to Sonic. Tails explains that the Hedgehog can harness their real power with positive energy. Little good versus evil, essentially, thing.
Oh my gosh, we putting the duel... Okay.
Sonic
this feels really late.
Sonic transforms into Supersonic and battles Perfect Chaos, basically having to run through run fast enough to run across the water of the flooded city and run up into Chaos and hit it and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Eventually defeating and calming Chaos. Chaos reverts to his normal Chaos Zero form.
Like, we have to beat up Chaos to calm them down? This feels inaccurate.
Chaos reverts to his normal Chaos Zero form and is surrounded by Chao. Tikal explains that the Chao have lived peacefully with humans for generations. With harmony now restored, Tikal and Chaos both depart into heaven, as they are both fairly old at this point. Yeah. Having only survived with magic. Sonic then sees Eggman retreat and Sonic himself leaves in search of new adventures. Finally done.
7 stories in one video game. We didn't even need half of them. We definitely didn't need the fishing towards point to point. I'm flabbergasted. I'm tired. I mean, my feet feel like they've walked everywhere, and all I did was listen to you in this chair. We went to lily pads and tornadoes and casinos.
Yeah.
Not volcanoes, though. We did avoid those today.
No, so there is a volcano, like lava area also in Red Mountains.
We didn't even avoid the volcano. Oh my gosh, we've been everywhere.
There's the ice, and I don't think there's a water. I mean, the lily pad thing is kind of, but there's no water world as far as I remember. I could be wrong.
Still, we've been everywhere. We've been everywhere, and it made no sense. And
well, it's Sonic Adventure. It's the first big Sonic game like that.
It felt like I was playing with portals. I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to call it here. Sapphy can regale you all more when we stream on the Thursday after this releases. Yes. Other weeks, we are still doing Mass Effect 2. We have a long way to go in Mass Effect 2.
A long way to go, but we're having a really fun time doing it. We already got 2 of our people added to our squad. And already
more
getting,
to come.
Dossiers for more. Mystic just remembered something.
That I was supposed to do a poll for the patrons, and I did not, and there's not enough time now. This will be great. We'll ask in the chat.
We should at least post and warn them that we're gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah.
And then maybe put up the poll for the next things that come up after that, Mystic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for suffering with me, not only through this
chaotic
double story,
long episode
but this crazy sinus infection that, of course, had to come this week when we record.
Yeah.
So, but thanks so much. We will catch you next time then.
Bye.
Bye.